continues to happen every day. Yeah, we have got stories to give you and also national. And some people might be thinking, of course, when the quarterfinals of the ongoing African Cup is sat down, which club satisfied you? And we'll be going club by club. And I'm not alone in the studio. I'm together with the other two colleague pandits. Let me start with Susie. Susie, you are most welcome. And how is everything?
Thank you so much. Thursday edition of Whistle Time, and we're in the house today. It's fully packed, and I would like to welcome viewer Whistle Time 2 to 3. Like I had earlier said, too many stories. Others went down last night, others went down over the weekend, and in the due course of the week, and we are yet expecting more other stories to come through, both locally, nationally, and internationally, as we'll break them down, of course, in the consequent minutes of the show.
Yes, I also have got Owen Zaga with us. Owen, you are most welcome. And yesterday night, the January transfer window sat down.
Good enough. It was the first of this very second month of this year, 2024, and you have a lot of things. Now, to me, I want to thank God for what exactly has come into the life this time round, with a couple of things. The transfer deadline day that went on, but of course, to me as an individual, I should say also there's a transfer in my life, a prosperity, yes. And that is one of the biggest things that I want to thank God for all the time. One of the biggest I also want to say is that this time round, moving off from football, there's a Ferrari and Lewis Hamilton deal that is ongoing right now in the Formula One. It's happening as Lewis Hamilton from Mercedes will be crossing away to that is Ferrari. So it's one of the biggest thing that one will want to say. Big deal. Of course, for transfer, nothing big I want to say in the English Premier League, there's other transfers, but of course teams are looking forward to see that they get themselves through.
Yeah, truly, let's look at these teams one by one. We start with some of the big match guys, the giants we have in English Premier League, before we also pick some of the average teams that are currently performing very well, the likes of Aston Villa. We start with Arsenal. We go alphabetical. Arsenal, over the January transfer window, they did not let go any player, and also did not sign any player. And people have been thinking about the Gunners. This is the right time for them to win the title, but they really needed addition. I can remember 2 weeks ago we discussed where Arsenal, in the departments, Arsenal needed to do reinforcement, but the deal is done. It's closed. They did not sign any player. And also, not another player from the camp of Gunners did not also leave them. Are you satisfied of that, Susie?
Arsenal matches, we thought out here that they needed to sign in, they needed to add on a few players into the camp to make them, of course, push through. Because currently, if we all see Arsenal, they want to win the title, they want to win the trophy, but then they are not first on the table, and so this basically narrows down to a lot of issues that have come through. And then there were possible people that we all thought that Arsenal needed to bring into their camp to help them push through. And we also got a report from their coach that said that they're not letting go of anyone, and the people that they have in camp are literally the best players that they have. They only need to work on a few things before they can continue with the half season that clearly is ongoing, to see to it that they can win the trophy. But matches they didn't add and release any other player, I'm quite much sure that he has trusted those that he has, and plus the ones that have been out injured, basically the couple of months that have passed by that the out injured players are going to return back in camp, and trust me, I think Arsenal is going to be good to go.
Yeah, a lot of things about Arsenal. You look at the players that they talked about, the players they wanted. Yes. It adds value of what exactly Arteta is. But right now, Arteta is under pressure because he wouldn't even make signings because of one or two things. The issue of who is to come to Arsenal. Yes. Who else do you need to make sure that this gets to your line? Yes. One, Arteta, when he came newly, he's just like Frank Lampard that came and there were no players. Probably he had to call in the loan players, come and play. That was Lampard. But for Arteta, he came and started working with the players that were on his card and formed a very good Arsenal team, sent away the ones that he needed to send away, which of course was a good thing because he needed to believe in himself. But again, he made errors because you can't send iconic figures. One of the names that I could talk about is Granit Xhaka. By now, he would be a superstar at Arsenal Football Club. You had to send him away, bringing different names here and there. Those are some of the things that probably came into the Arsenal team. But after recruiting different of his choice, he really still had chances to make sure that they make signings. Spent around 80 plus 100 on Declan Rice and the rest, putting in a huge money. Gabriel Jesus coming in there. But at last, it became a pressure on him, because if all these are there and you don't assemble the team to get what the bosses need, you ask for this money because you needed the bosses to trust you, and you bring the right people to win a trophy. That's what they're playing for, which couldn't happen.
Yes. Now,
I knew in January he wouldn't make any signing, though he needed a striker. Gabriel Jesus is not a striker that you could say you are relying on for over and over games that will be coming right there. We did see them ejected in, I think, the Carabao or the FL. A cup that is so much for them.
Yes.
You would see them getting in there. The Champions League is still going on. You're going to be seeing a lot of things. So these are some of the things you need to. Who is that striker? I thought when they talked about Ollie Watkins or Ivan Toney, this would be the time that they would have made a sale on these players to probably come in there. Now, reports today indicate that they are looking on to rush for this situation at Manchester United, which of course would be up to summer, and United is staying in the summer. They can't sell Rashford. All these are some of the things that are coming in there. So Arsenal and Mikel Arteta just need to look for what exactly they need really for the club, because I don't see them winning the trophy. I don't see them winning the title, not even any. That is one. The trophy I expected is one of them is the Carabao, which of course I don't think. The FA, you've seen where it has reached. They are no more where. The UEFA Champions League, the creme de la cremes are always there. You will never want to fight with them. I know it is going to reach a moment. We have already reached, I think, at the knockout stages, where you're going to see that the round of 16, where the Arsenals and the rest will have to fight for what exactly you need to. Now, that is where you're going to see who is a man, who is a better team. Up to that is the finals. And that is one big thing that Arsenal Football Club needs to look into. So the strategy is, because I know that, there is going to be excuses of, no, we now need to leave this. Okay, that's fans' perspective. We need to concentrate on this, but which is very impossible. This happened last season, which of course they couldn't also maintain.
Yes.
The focus was, okay, let's go off Champions League. A fans' perspective, not the club. The club wanted everything. But of course, just like the focus, because I don't believe in that, in a way that if you look at Man City, they looked at, okay, we need 3 trophies. We need a treble. And they did it. That was the target that they set earlier on. What about Arsenal Football Club? Theirs was, we needed the Premier League. After now 30 years, we've not gotten any Premier League. That is Arsenal. That's what they were thinking. Can we get that? All in vain. So what does it come with? Arteta has a good team.
Yes.
But there's that element, key factor lacking in that. It's called the maturity and the experience.
Oh, and it's true.
If you look at Arsenal's young kids, the Martinelli and the rest, they will play for you half a season very well. The Bukayo Saka. Of recent, when the games were coming, first rounds were getting done, what did they say? Bukayo Saka is a nuisance because he was not delivering. Then over expectation is what is also killing Arsenal. They put themselves on pressure. If you don't have the focus is mild and stagnant, then you are not going to achieve what you want. But if you have to put in creativity, let's change in this, and trust players. If you have issues as a coach with players, trust me, you are going to fail a club as like that. But Mikel Arteta still has chances that he can rotate around with his players. They have good players, the Trossards, they have bought them, but they are very resourceful, but not being used like expected. There are certain players, trust me, Trossard would bench because he's a good player. But Arsenal's Mikel Arteta and the technical team does not trust him.
Yeah, you look at the entire squad of Arsenal, it's true that Arsenal lacks that winning caliber and the winning mentality. And right now, the world is demanding a lot from the head coach, Mikel Arteta. This is the right time for him to prove himself to the whole world. And for him to prove himself, this one comes by winning gongs. The gong might not be the Carling Cup, it might not be FA, because Arsenal has been winning those things. People are demanding the title, English Premier League title from Arsenal, and they also at the same time UEFA Champions League. How are they going to do that one? When are they going to do that one is actually what the world is expecting from the coach himself, Mikel Arteta, and the entire team of Arsenal. And this one takes us to Old Trafford. Business was also going through over the January transfer window, and Manchester United only signed one player. In fact, recalling their player who was on loan from the team of Granada. The player is actually called Alvaro Fernandez. And you look at the players who have left Manchester United over the January. Donny van der Beek joined the Bundesliga club called Eintracht Frankfurt. Sergio Reguilon returned to Tottenham, then loaning him out to Brentford. And Jadon Sancho went to Estadio Westfalenstadion Dortmund on loan. And Hannibal Mejbri went to Sevilla on loan. There was also another player called Alvaro Fernandez was called from Granada and again loaned out to Soccer Lisboa Benfica in Portuguese Primera Division. Max Oyedele to Forest Green on loan, and also Matthew Meyer to Sevilla. This one was sold permanently. It's at a disclosed fee. And there is a player called Dan Gore to Port Vale on loan. And Facundo Pellistri, yesterday the deal went through. Granada on loan. And lastly, Radek Vitek to Accrington on loan. And you look at the number of players Manchester United they have sent on loan. Yeah, we may say that these are not the key players for Manchester United. But Manchester United, to me, they really needed iconic figures to see that they also compete with some of the big match guys in English Premier League. They had problem in left back position, and Sergio Reguilon, they called him on loan from Spurs, and now he has gone. And I don't know, Susie, if you are satisfied of how Manchester United was doing the January transfer window.
Manchester United, I think, is one club that at least did a few transactions, or I would say that at least was a little bit active compared to Arsenal that was just there. But then if you look at most of the people that actually Manchester United let go on loan, Pellistri and then Fernandez loaned to Benfica and all that, you'll basically see that there is one guy that actually Manchester United loaned to Ajax, and
yes.
he has been dropped, by the way, by the Ajax team. So basically, what does this tell you? Your boys that you're loaning out are not being utilized, yes. They're not being used and all that. And then what else is left apart from the people that you loan out? Basically are the people that you feel as the coach that are not performing and all that. So yes. You want them basically to go and try under a new leadership and see maybe if it will work out. And then you are bringing back the people that you loaned and all that. I think Manchester United basically has a very huge issue equally, just like Mikel Arteta. Manchester United currently has a lot of good players. I would say the basics here is just to understand who to use and at what time and where and all that. Trust me, Manchester United will be bringing in a lot of results. Like where there is pressure of people saying Ten Hag has to leave and all that, but I've loved it that the management or the stakeholders are trusting him, I think, for one more season. And if this could be other clubs by now, Ten Hag would have been shown the exit. Ten Hag, I think, is a trustworthy coach, and he only needs to trust his players and know how to utilize them, basically.
Yes. Owen, are you satisfied of how Manchester United have been behaving in the January transfer window, or as you expected some newcomers to be at the club?
A lot of things that I want to talk about United. One, the new owners that are coming, of course, did not spend any. Man United spent 0 shillings, and of course injected 0 shillings, or got 0 shillings in what exactly came in there. But if you look at what was there, players that have gone. Donny van der Beek was surplus to requirement. He was not a very good player to start, or he had no place in Manchester United's books. Yes. And of course, as a good coach who loves players, who loves development, will send him off to a loan or even sell him. Now he can get play time at Eintracht Frankfurt because he has not been, ever since he got injured, he has not been a starter in this, and that is what has costed him. You look at Sergio Reguilon. Yes, he came, but he was a shaky one. Yes, he had his plays at Manchester United, but did not fit every time. He couldn't bench the likes of Luke Shaw. When Luke Shaw got injured, you would even still see the coach struggling to see that maybe he puts a default a shift back, left back to push in there. You would see Dalot and Wan-Bissaka maybe sometimes pushing it there, or at least puts in John Evans or even Maguire, who has always fit in that. So that shows you that the coach did not see the best out of this player on certain issues. For Manchester United right now, they're looking at what are the deliveries, and that's what Erik ten Hag was doing. That's why you see Dalot playing, because he is sometimes plays ahead of Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Yes. He's offensively good. Defensively, he may not be very, very perfect, but offensively, that's what Erik ten Hag is looking into. Yes. And that's the reason why probably Sergio could not fit in there. And I think him going does not say anything. The only person that I would say got issues with Ten Hag and went is Jadon Sancho to Borussia Dortmund, which of course, yes, they needed to first sort out their grievances. This has happened to very many. But I would love Erik ten Hag to behave like Jose Felix Mourinho. He hates you. Yes, he will tell you I hate you, but you need to work what I want. That happened with Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba, in fact, if you rate Paul Pogba's performance, the most performance that Paul Pogba outplayed for United was under Jose Felix Mourinho. But after a lot of bad words that he would even throw at Paul Pogba, and Paul Pogba delivered. Now he is no more because there's no one who is there. He feels he's big, and he started the doping. You did see the anti-doping getting him off the hook. He may not play any game anymore because the years are also going. Yes, Hugli is one good player, but still young. He has still a long future. And going to, of course, Burton Albion is one key. He needs to develop. And by the time he comes, we saw him. He scored a goal for United, I remember, in one of the League Cups. And then you have Hannibal. Yes, he has crossed over to Sevilla. Hannibal is a very good player, but that midfield right now, he is not going to be able to play. So he needs more play time, just like how Ahmed or Amadi Diallo was doing. He was sent to loan at United. You have Alvaro Fernandez, is a midfielder. Yes, a defender, very good one. He can play for you in the midfield. He is one player that you can rely on. But what exactly would you see? Now, you're seeing some players being injured, and if there's a callback of such a player, it was because of 1 or 2 issues, but he has gone to Benfica, and that is where he is. And then you have, of course, Bernat. These are young players. Stockport, that's where he's playing. Facundo Pellistri's move to Grenada is a good one. You can't bench, he will not be able to bench Anthony. That's the reason why Jadon Sancho and, of course, Eric got issues. You may not be able to bench Antonio Martial, although he's still there. You may not be able to bench Marcus Rashford. These are things that you can be seeing in there. And those are some of the reasons why I feel these players need to go to loan. And I think it's a very good one. The only thing is that United needs a defender, a central defender. Right now, if you go to the books, if you go to the online platforms, you will see that names like Rafa Varane, names like Johnny Evans, names like Harry Maguire may not be able to get themselves into the Manchester United books come June, which is, of course, coming next very soon. We are counting down June. And you will see this year very many exits. That means United will only remain with Lisandro Martinez, who will be the only centre-back. That means you need a centre-back, and they were talking about a player called Braithwaite of Everton. They wanted him to come in before the deadline day, but I think a deal that did not happen due to 1 or 2 issues right there. So that is United for you, and they are looking forward. But I expect massive spending in the summer by Manchester United, because they are the Ionies, and Jim Ratcliffe, the billionaire, will be in a place to make sure that he spends, and you will be expecting a lot of changes by the end of that is the season, because they are going to be the CEO coming in, they are going to be the new bosses, they are going to be recruitment officers that are going to be introduced into the Manchester United books. So all that is what we want to say. The deals were good for United, though they didn't add, because you will add still, you will have the same issues with United. They have very many players down there. If they can send away the Van de Beeks, then what do you expect? You're adding more forward.
Okay, we are still discussing the international transfer, more especially European transfer, how it went over the January transfer window, how it came to conclusion yesterday night. Owen, before I drive to Susa, one thing I want to know from you is, why is it that of late, once Manchester United goes on to sign players from Ajax Amsterdam, they are always failing? They went to Ajax and signed Daley Blind as a replacement for Carrick. He failed. Of late, they have signed players like Donny van der Beek. We have just been discussing. You talk about players like Anthony. There was a time they signed Memphis Depay as a replacement for Angel Di Maria after selling him to Paris Saint-Germain. Of late, so many players they have signed from Ajax. They are flopping. Even Martinez, now injury prone, but the other players leaving Ajax, going to the other clubs like Mazuri, they are signing. Does it mean the philosophy at Ajax is not favoring the players who have gone to Manchester United?
Now, I want to tell you two things. One, United is a bigger club and
Yes.
very big. In fact, I keep saying it's big. That when you come there, you're always under pressure, delivery-wise. Ajax can give you a lot of time because it's where you develop from the academy, you learn everything. But Manchester United signing you expects you to deliver.
Yes.
And when they sign these players from Ajax, the players have been very good. Donny van de Beek, who didn't hear about Donny van de Beek before United signed? And United is this club that every star player that is there, they want to sign in England. Like in the Spanish La Liga, it's Real Madrid. Every club that you hear a player is signing, they will want. So that is one thing. So when these players come there, they are most of the time sold expensively. Two, they come in now with a lot of pressure of delivery that they need to deliver basing on the money. And those are some of the things that keep affecting them. So when they get in the pitch, they play under pressure of delivering, and which affects them. It only takes a good coach mentally to set these players that, no, don't put yourself on pressure. We saw that with Jack Grealish at Manchester City. He was not delivering.
Yes.
But now Jack Grealish is the player to talk about at Manchester City because Pep has put him straight forward that this is the purpose. You're not playing for people.
Yes.
You're playing for yourself and the club. Now, what you need to do is focus, play your game the way you can, get back. And that is exactly. We saw Mata when he was at Chelsea. The Mata right now at Liverpool is far way different. I think what kills these players is the overhype, the expectations from the fans, and which puts these players on pressure. The media talks on social handles, on different websites, keeps pressing them. They're also human. It's just like they say Benson is valued at £200 million. And now Benson reaches the place where you're supposed to deliver, and you're in pressure. This was the man I was brought to. I need to give the best. And in the best, you find out making errors. So those are some of the big things that keep coming. That is only if you're mentally okay. And that's why Zlatan Ibrahimovic at 40 still played at United.
Okay, this one brings us at Anfield. I mean, Liverpool, they did not sign any player in the January transfer window, but letting go so many players. And Fabio Carvalho, one key player for Liverpool, at first he was on loan at RB Leipzig. They called him back, and right now he's playing for Hull City and is doing so well. Viseslav Zaros has gone to Austrian Bundesliga, playing for Sturm Graz on loan. And there is a player called Luke Chambers who has gone to Wigan Athletic on loan, and also a player called Paul Glatzel. He has gone to Swindon on loan, and also a player called Rhys Williams who has also gone to Port Vale on loan. Not forgetting about Owen Beck who has gone to Dundee United on loan in Scottish Premiership. Not forgetting about Nat Phillips who has gone to Wales to play for Cardiff City on loan. So you look at the players Liverpool has sent out, apart from William Carvalho, apart from Fabio Carvalho and also Nat Phillips. You look at the other players, these are still teenage players, and for them they did not bring in any player. I mean, they did not sign any player. I don't know. Liverpool right now, they're in the race with teams like Manchester City, Arsenal, looking forward to see that they win the title, but not adding any other player. Are they going to battle it up to the end?
I think Liverpool, probably right now I would say Liverpool is one team that is very complete in that the current coach has taken some time to, of course, understand exactly which player has strengths where and all that. And Liverpool, of course, tried during the other transfers before the one that just closed yesterday, tried bringing in a lot of people that we saw flopping, the likes of Caicedo and all that flopped. But then whichever transfer that flopped for them, they already had what? They had replacements for these various flops. But then currently, I would say the current people that Liverpool has in their squad. Trust me, it's quite a very good one for them. And I think that is one thing that they didn't go into to look into, a few people to add on. But then you literally see that they are the players that actually they let go. I think Liverpool is one club that has released more players in all other Premier League clubs at this very transfers that actually closed yesterday. And the people that they released, trust me, these are people that I wouldn't say do not now add on to the club. Yes. I think it is the excess that they actually released basically. And I would say Liverpool is quite good to go, and I would equally count them into the race for the trophy.
Now, for Liverpool, those are all players that were on loan, and then their loans ended in a different way. Fabio Carvalho was at RB Leipzig. His loan ended, came back to Liverpool. They had to reloan him again to Hull City. Talk about Owen Beck. He was at the team called Dundee, where Anna Kusadat plays. Of course, that's where he was. Now he has been loaned to back to Dundee again. You have Nathan Phillips. Yes, he has never been at Liverpool, but Celtic is where he was. His loan ended, and he had to also look for a better way in right there. And now he is at Cardiff City. You have the man by the names of Raheem Williams, yes, at Aberdeen, but now Williams has gone to Port Vete, where you will be tussling it out. Calvin Ramsey, yes, he was at Preston North End. Now he is at Cardiff City. So all this, Ramsey to Bolton Wanderers, you will see that these players were all from another to this, and Liverpool cannot accommodate them, but they need them to develop every time. True. So a very good one. But for Liverpool, yes, they did do transfers. They are well, even without Salah. Salah is not the small god at Liverpool. It's still a lot. You're seeing the Diego Jota's doing well. Yesterday it was a humiliation for them after, of course, showing what exactly they needed to show at Anfield against Chelsea. 4-1 was a big one. You did see what Jota can do. You did see what Darwin Núñez can do. You could see what exactly the up front there would be pushing in there. So I think it is just a matter of the philosophy and understanding, which has brought in two things to the team of Liverpool Football Club. So Liverpool is a team to watch. City yesterday also had a very good run, but Liverpool and City will be battling up for this for quite a long time, like how they did it in the previous year, last year, but the other year when, of course, the City also won the trophy. So it's a very stiff one, and the race is still to continue. But Liverpool do not need more additions because they have players.
Yes, before we go for first half break, we still have got 2 minutes to discuss about Chelsea. We don't want to leave Chelsea pending because the fans may say that we had them. And looking at the players, Chelsea did not sign any player with the cast. Actually, they recalled their players who were on loan. One is a player called Andre Santos, who was on loan at Nottingham Forest. He was recalled. And a player called Casadei. This is Cesar Casadei. This player was on loan at Leicester City. He's a striker. Not forgetting about Diego Moreira. This player has also been recalled back from French League One outfit called Olympic Lyon. And also some of the players left Chelsea mostly on loan. One player is Alex Matos, Huddersfield Town on loan. Not forgetting about Madsen, a defender who has gone to Borussia Dortmund on loan. And also Jamie Carmine, he has gone to Oxford United on loan. And lastly, a player called David Datro Fofana. If it was the game between Manchester City and Burnley, he was there playing for the team of Burnley. And Chelsea is a team everyone has been talking about. As if when the season started, people thought that Chelsea was okay to go with the current players, but right now, you look at how these players are performing. Truly, Chelsea needed some players in some departments, more especially in defense line. Matches they having so many players in midfield and also in striking department, but January transfer window, they have not been so active, only recalling back players whom they sent on loan. Susie?
The players that actually they sent on loan, bringing them back to Chelsea, I think I wouldn't equally also add so much into the current squad that Chelsea is in, because Chelsea somehow we all thought that maybe this is the season for Chelsea, and then they of course killed our perspectives on them from which was very evident from the game results that kept coming through here and there, because Chelsea in the transfers. You literally see that Chelsea was one mildly active club that did not do a lot of signings here and there, and simply because the people that actually they went in for, I think, rejected them. They got around 2 or 3 rejects and all that. But then the people that equally they added into the club also started doing so well. But then Chelsea has been very inconsistent. You literally wonder where exactly the problem of Chelsea is, because one, the finances are there. If you look at how Todd Boehly came into Chelsea and all that, you literally understand that they don't have financial challenges, and then you actually start wondering where exactly the problem is, because one, they have a good coach with a very vast experience. Jurgen Klopp is so good, and then if you look at the top management, all that, plus the players, you literally start wondering where exactly their problem is. So basically, I think they didn't need add-ons into the team of this very transfers that closed yesterday.
Okay, Owen, before we go for the break, summarize.
Nothing much to summarize. I'm just waiting for that day before the season, maybe axe to be put on Mauricio Pochettino, and it's one big thing that you could be seeing anytime. But if not, then we'll need to see what exactly will be coming right there, because of one thing, which is if you have invested and you are not getting the results in England, even anywhere, you have problems. Just like you're going to be putting a company and you are not getting returns. Yes. You will eventually run away, leave the company, or the boss of the company will have to, of course, check on your audit, will audit you and check on what exactly you need to, after spending this, what were the returns, and this is one thing that will be working onto. So I believe it's going to be so challenging, and if he's not fired this season, yes, the next season won't be his time.